Welcome, friends. In this series, today we'll discuss about stock market, different types of participants, regulators, their functions. So first of all, what is a stock market? Like in Kirana store, nearby our Kirana store, we go to buy grocery items. Same way, we go to a stock market. Of course, online we are going to sell or purchase shares of any company. The place to transact, or we can say buy or sell shares, is a stock market. Yes, physically there is office, but now it is in electronic form. All transactions done electronically. Even our shares are electronically held. That is why it is called demat account, dematerialized. Shares are in dematerialized form, not in materialized form. So a stock market is a place where one can buy and sell shares. There are two main stock exchanges in India, BSC, Bombay Stock Exchange, and NSE, National Stock Exchange. Of course, another small stock exchange existed, but slowly it is being phased out, like Bangalore Stock Exchange, Madras Stock Exchange, Delhi Stock Exchange. Now, functional, we can say BSC, Bombay Stock Exchange, and NSE, National Stock Exchange. There are different participants of the stock market, like individuals like us, small investors, retailers like us, and others, NRIs and OCI, people of Indian origin, DII, domestic institutional investors like LIC, and different mutual fund houses, AMCs, like HDFC mutual fund, SBI mutual fund. So around 42 mutual fund houses. So they are all comes under DIIs. Apart from this, foreign institutional investors, FIIs, also participate and invest in the stock markets. Under retailers or individuals, some are small investors. Of course, some are big investors, HNIs, high net worth individuals. So these types of investors are there and participants are there. To regulate all these participants to function a stock exchange or transactions fairly, a regulator is there, that is SEBI, the Stock Exchange Board of India. So in India, all transactions, everything related to a stock market is regulated by SEBI. And under SEBI, there are small other entities which are part of the regulatory framework and which helps financial transactions that we will discuss later. Main function of SEBI is to monitor, conduct, ensure conduct businesses, smooth businesses among stock exchanges. Another thing is brokers and sub-brokers. They conduct business fairly. Participants do not indulge in any unduly or unfair means or try to get unfair or unduly benefits small retail investors' interest can be protected or try to protect them so that they cannot languish. Investors with huge cash pile should not manipulate the market. This is also ensured by SEBI. Overall development of market, of course, ensured by SEBI. So these are the small functions or overall function of SEBI. Now let us see different regulators of India. What are their functions? So let us share our PPT where you will get all those details. We can see first is credit rating agency, CRA. Example for that, Resale, ICRA, KEA, and so many others are there, half a dozen. The main function, they rate the credit worthiness of corporate and governments. And in simpler words, what we can say, if a corporate or government entity wants to avail loan, CRA checks if the entity is worthy of giving a loan. All banks or any bank cannot guarantee or cannot check worthiness, credit worthiness of any institutions, any corporate entity. It is very difficult to check credit worthiness of all whosoever comes for loan. So for that purpose, there are credit rating agencies which do audit and provide certificate, credit worthiness certificate of companies, corporates, government entities. And based on that credit worthiness, bank decides to provide loan so that their loan cannot turn to NPA, non-performing assets. So this is the function of credit rating agency to audit and provide credit certificates. Another regulator is debenture trustees. Almost all banks in India, they are debenture trustees, and they act as a trustee to corporate debenture. In simpler words, we can say when companies want to raise a loan, they can issue debenture against which they promise to pay an interest. These debentures can be subscribed by public. A debenture trustee ensures that the debenture obligation is honored. So this is the prime responsibility of debenture trustee, or we can say bank, to ensure these public participants whosoever subscribed to these debentures, their obligations are met, honored. Another are depositories. Main depositories in India is NSDL and CDSL. NSDL is associated with NSE, National Stock Exchange, and CDSL is associated with Bombay Stock Exchange, BSE. And its function is safekeeping, reporting, and settlement of clients' securities. In similar words, we can say these depositories acts like a hold for the shares that you buy or sell. So all these shares are electronically kept with these depositories. The depository hold your shares and facilitate exchanges of your securities. When you buy shares, these shares sit in your depository account, usually referred to as the demat account. This is maintained electronically by only two companies in India, that is NSDL and CDSL. Depository participants, DP, most of the bank and new stock brokers. They act as depository participants. What is their function? What they do? Act as an agent to the two depositories. You cannot directly interact with NSDL or CDSL. You need to liaison with a DP to open and maintain your Demat account. So this is the main function of depository participants. Another foreign institutional investors or FIIs, foreign corporate funds or individual funds whatsoever coming from foreign land, that is FIIs. And these people make investment in Indian stock market. In simpler words, we can say they are foreign entities with an interest to invest in India and profit from investment here. They usually transact in large amounts of money and hence their activity in the markets have an impact in terms of market sentiment. Of course, nowadays sentiment is not so much dependent or on FIIs. This is true for a couple of years only. But if you see 5, 10 years or more backward, if a FII is withdrawing from the stock market, there are large scale selling happens then and market falls like anything. You can say the example of 2008 crash because FIIs draw or withdraw money from here and left Indian market and so such downfall happened. But almost same amount withdrawn after this crisis, but not so much crash happened. Now, especially after we can see corona crisis, DIH and retail investors are there through mutual fund, more than 10,000 crore each deposited through mutual fund or through SIP. And now Indian DIH and retailers have muscle power to sustain those selling by FIIs. So now our domestic institutional investors and retailers have power to counter FIIs. Earlier it was not so. Anyway, merchant bankers like Carby, Axis Bank, Edelweiss Capital, these merchant bankers help companies raise money in the primary markets. In simpler words, if a company plans to raise money by floating an IPO, then merchant bankers are the ones who help companies with the IPO process. So this is the main function of these merchant bankers who help them to float IPO. IPO means initial public offerings, through which company first time gets money from primary market. Asset Management Company, AMC, HDFC AMC, Reliance Capital, now this changed to Nippon India Capital, SBI Capital, okay, offers mutual fund schemes. There are around 42 mutual funds or AMCs in India. They have their different schemes and people invest in those schemes. And AMC collects money from the public, puts that money in a single account, and then invests that money in markets with an objective of making the investments grow and thereby generate wealth to its investors. Of course, we will have one separate video to where we will discuss in detail about mutual fund and different participants of mutual funds, AMC, all those, okay, how they function, what are their functions, and how mutual funds collects money and how one can invest in any scheme of mutual fund and get benefited. Another is portfolio management system, PMS, like Relegated Wealth Management, Parag Parekh, PMS. And there are so many, dozens of PMS. People participate in market through them. They offer PMS schemes or portfolio management scheme, we can say. They work similar to mutual fund, except in a PMS, you have to invest in a minimum of rupees 25 lakh. However, there is no such cap in mutual fund. In mutual fund, one can start investing from rupees 500 onwards, any amount they can through SIP or lump sum also they can invest more than 5,000, 6,000, and any amount they can invest. There is no compulsion to have minimum 25 lakh amount in mutual fund. Stock brokers and sub brokers. These are Zerodha, Sher Khan, ICICI Direct, Motilal Oswal, IIFL, Geojit, Security. So there are so many brokers, and under them, small sub brokers are there. Of course, some are full broker, and others like Zerodha, 5 Paise, Elice Blue, SAS Online. These are discount brokerage. Act as an intermediary between an investor and a stock exchange. We cannot directly transact through any stock exchange. So we go through these brokers and transact buy and sell through brokers only. This is allowed through brokers only. Whenever you want to buy or sell shares from the stock exchange, you have to do so through the registered stock brokers. A sub-broker is like an agent to a stockbroker or main broker. So these are the major participants, regulators in India. In another video, we'll see another aspect of the stock market. If you like this video or find some value, please like and put your comment. Please share with your friends, colleagues, so that they can also get benefited. Till then, keep watching. Thank you. Bye bye.